Negotiations to end the shutdown are currently at a standstill. What a surprise. A group of moderate Democrats skipped President Trump's working lunch at the White House today. So is there any end in sight? Joining me now, Arizona Congressman and Freedom Caucus member Andy Biggs is back. Welcome back, Congressman.
Thanks, Kennedy. Good to be with you.
So are there any Democrats and Republicans taking a sidebar right now and talking amongst themselves about what will get us out of the impasse?
Oh, you know, there's some conversations going on, but they're not, in my opinion, they're not substantive. They're just, you know, where are you? You know, I've invited some to come to the border. I'm trying to get to the border this weekend. You know, do you want to come to the border? They don't want to. They don't want to come.
I want to go to the border. I've been to the border, but I've not been to the Arizona border. I would very much like to see what you're dealing with in your state, because it seems as though some of the border state legislators have a little bit more fire when it comes to this issue. I know it can be politically toxic, but we are truly in a Mexican standoff. And, you know, at this point, I don't understand what has to change and who caves, because it is such a necessary win for both sides. Is this how everything is going to be from your point of view?
Well, in my opinion, the chasm gets bigger and it gets deeper. And look, I mean, you had the folks, the Democrats that were invited today. They didn't want to go to the White House. I don't know whether they thought they were going to get leftover burgers from last night's dinner or what. But the reality of it is, they needed to go out of, first of all, out of respect to the president. But number two,
well, what about respect to the federal workers who have lost a paycheck?
Exactly, respect for the American people, to see if you could work out something, but they wouldn't go. They're not budging. So we've got this Grand Canyon-sized chasm here, and that's where it is. And I'm not sure how we get there. That's why I'm thinking I'm not sure there's going to be a legislative solution anytime soon.
I don't think so either. I think it's going to be, the only thing that's going to happen is both sides will be forced to talk, because there will be some outside influence like the TSA. And, you know, we've heard reports of sick outs here and there, and a small percentage of TSA agents calling in sick. So if that happens and en masse they decide that they're not going to show up for work as a form of protest, and they're going to work part-time, you know, as task rabbits and driving Ubers to feed their families until the shutdown ends, what does that do?
Well, what that's going to do is, if they make a sick-in or something like that and they don't come, it's going to actually increase pressure, I think, on both sides. But the reality is, both sides believe we're right. I mean, I believe we're right. We need a wall. I think there's a crisis. I think $5.7 billion is rational.
Yeah.
They believe that they can't give a dollar, that it's immoral somehow, and that they're willing to buy another drone, but they're not willing to put up another mile of fence. So,
they're willing to do a lot of things. I mean, they're unwilling to tackle entitlements and reform either of the programs that are going to be insolvent in just a few years, that don't suck billions. They suck trillions of dollars. And I think that's immoral. I think it's incredibly immoral to have an imbalanced budget and borrow money and continuously raise the debt ceiling. I think that's far less moral, and I think that's building economic walls around future generations. That is an economic death sentence.
Right. I mean, when you think about it, one of the first rules that they passed was to automatically raise the debt ceiling whenever they passed a spending bill. Think about that. What it means is they're not even going to have to discuss it anymore.
Nope.
They're just going to spend all they want, and we're going to see debt grow. We're going to see the structural deficit on an annual basis grow to $1 trillion plus, and there's no end in sight to it. And so if we can't get together on $5.7 billion on something that truly is an emergency and impacts national security, I just wonder how the heck we're ever going to get together
all I have to
on
say
the spending issue.
To the federal workers, they will see back pay, but they're also going to see several more shutdowns in the near future. So unfortunately, you got to figure out a way to either adopt a rich relative or find a different line of work that's going to be more stable than you know what was once the bastion of stability in federal employment, because this isn't going to end anytime soon. This shutdown may end soon, but we're going to be headed for the next one when there's another impasse. Congressman Biggs,
Exactly.
thank you so much. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Kennedy.
Very good.